This is very easy. There's a play then on the ambiguity of the word before there. Protos mu is translated by many translations to lead you into the idea that Jesus was alive before he was born. Don't need that at all. Protos mu can equally well mean he was my superior. And there are translations which render it that way. The Leon Morris, very good commentary on John, evangelical commentary, points out, as many commentators have also done, that this can equally mean he who comes after me has now moved ahead of me. John talking about Jesus here, because, as you know, John the Baptist preceded Jesus in the ministry, but Jesus has now moved ahead of me because he was always my superior, and that's where he belongs. So it's a falsehood to say that he was before me. He's supposed to indicate that he pre-existed, thus contradicting, may I say, absolutely flat, the accounts of Matthew and Luke. And this is the danger. We always put our stake in at the beginning. Matthew and Luke are quite clear, and Daniel Kirk's excellent book on synoptic gospels, no pre-existence there, no incarnation with a capital I. That's quite clear. Now, John is too difficult for many people that need more experience before they can tackle John. John has some idioms, and there's also an element of mistranslation, capital W on the word, for example. So John is the happy hunting ground of Gnostics, always was. So I would recommend people start in the Old Testament, get an idea of who the Messiah is going to be, then move to Matthew and Luke and go into that in depth, and then move to Paul and John. Paul can be difficult, as Peter said too. You don't want to rush to Colossians 1, start there. There's mistranslation sometimes, quibbles about prepositions and so on. That's not the place to start. Start with the easy fact that God was going to raise up a prophet from among the children of Israel, like Moses. That's clear. Like Moses, an Israelite, born and bred, son of David, of course, has to be Messiah, cannot be Messiah if he's not the descendant of David. If he's older than David, he cannot be the Messiah. Very early on, Jesus was pushed back behind his birth and turned into something that isn't really quite human, and that, I think, is to be avoided. So it's all to do with protos mu. He was my superior. I cannot rattle off for you the translations that actually have that. I think Rotherham's literal translation has it, and some others also. But he was my superior, of course. He always was the superior of John, even though he came behind John initially. I'm not going to base my view of Jesus on one ambiguous word. You see, the devil plays on ambiguity, you know that. Protos is an ambiguous word. It can mean first in time, and it can mean superior in rank. So you take the choice that will fit with the rest of Scripture, not what will fit with your perceived creeds, which took 300 or 400 years to develop, I think. So I have no qualms about this at all. If we're supposed to figure things out on the basis of one adjective there, contradicting the rest of Scripture, we're really lost. It's a hopeless task.